I was the girl in the sunlit grass, dancing wild where the spring winds pass, laughed with the flowers, soft and free. But there was more inside of me. They called me core, sweet and mild, Demeter's joy, the golden child. But every light cast shadow wide, and something deeper stirred inside. They never asked what I could be, just crowned me queen of purity. But fate was waiting underground, and I would rise where I was bound. I've lived 100 lives in one, from springtime's bloom to kingdom come. I wear the dark, I walk the flame. You'll never break what bears my name. Seasons turn and I still breathe. I am the bloom beneath. He came in silence, split the earth. The sky went black, I lost my worth. No hand to hold, no time to run, just ashes where there once was sun. But in the depths I found my throne, a world of whispers, all my own, not his to keep, not his to claim. I carved my power from the flame. They say he stole, they say I cried, but I became what does not die. I made the dark a sacred place, a goddess forged in fire and grace. I've lived 100 lives in one, from springtime's bloom to kingdom come. I wear the dark, I walk the flame. You'll never break what bears my name. Seasons turn and I still breathe. I am the bloom beneath. Half the year I rise in gold, half I rule where souls are cold, not torn apart. I chose this path, and now I wear both light and wrath. I've lived 100 lives in one, from maiden song to queen undone. No crown was placed, I made it burn, and taught the world how queens return. I rise, I fall, and still I breathe. I am the bloom beneath. Still I breathe. Still I bloom. I am the bloom. in a world untouched by scars. I kept dreams of quiet skies, a watcher of the night, with open eyes. I moved through shadows sun could not claim, and the wind sang softly, calling my name. I was free, and the world was mine, until thunder rose and the hunt began. A fire rose in endless blue, a golden vow, a hand that grew. The sky reached down, I would not stay. I tore my heart from the dead. I fell into the sea. I chose the storm instead of chain. I broke my name in waves and foam. I became the Isle of Pain. The sea was cold, the night was long. The waves became my breaking song. I sank, I bled, I turned to stone, and found a heart that was my own. The tides rose high, the storms cut deep. I closed my eyes, I did not weep. When dawn returned, the world could see the island that was born from me. I held my sister when she cried. Her children came as the gods still lied. I was her shield, her sacred ground. I heard her voice, a newborn sound. Now I speak through the midnight sky, through falling stars as they drift by. I am the dream that will not break. The sea and I fell into the sea. I chose the storm instead of chain. I broke my name in waves and foam. I became the Isle of Pain. If a star falls across the dark, know my voice still leaves its mark. I am Asteria, lost and found. My soul lives in ocean sound. Once I danced in temple halls, golden hair and sacred vows, a Priestess in the moonlight with the sea wind on my brow, till the god of tides came crashing, shadowed steps upon the floor, and the goddess turned her fury, made my beauty live no more. I ran to the shoreline, but the water would not speak. Now silence is my temple, and the wind is all I keep. Hear my life, it rises. Hear my life, it falls. They feared my gaze, my sorrow, painted monsters on the walls. Hear my life, my curses echo through the stone. I sing into the darkness. My voice is mine alone. Exiled to an island where the stars could barely shine, heroes came with silver swords, thought my head would buy them time. One by one they froze before me, statues scattered through the sand. Not for glory, not for malice, I just longed for gentle hands. I spoke to the shadows, they answered in my stead. The world would not forgive me, so it named me Monster Dead. Hear my life, it rises. Hear my life, it falls. From temple to the silence, only echoes fill these halls. Hear my life, my curses echo through the stone. I sing into the darkness. My voice is mine alone. When he came with mirrored shield, I felt the night grow still. One soft breath, then silver flashed, and time obeyed his will. From the blood my children rose, wings to chase the sky. Even in my ending, I refuse to only die. Hear my life, it rises. Hear my life, it falls. They turned me into legend, but they never heard my call. Hear my life, my curses echo through the stone. I sing into the darkness. My voice is mine alone. Once I danced in temple halls. Now I sleep where no one calls. I sing, and darkness knows my name. They offered me a gentler crown, one made of gold, not iron. They called it peace, but it came with chains. They smiled when I was quiet, but I remember thunder and the cold truth that silence does not mean safety. They told me I was made for light, but I found truth in shadow. Not every war begins with hate. Some begin with understanding. I was not shaped by mercy. I was not raised to kneel. They gave me a throne, and I turned it into steel. I chose the blade, not for war, but for weight, not to the weak, but to stand alone. I chose the blade, not to strike, to see, to walk the path that others fear to be. This isn't wrath, it's memory. This isn't rage, it's choice. I did not lose my way. I carved it, not with fire, but with voice. I chose the blade when silence was easier, when softness was expected, when power had a price. I chose the blade, and I hold it still, because I know who I am, and I always will. I stepped from chaos, the endless void. No light, no land, no world to join. The night was mine, I wore its skin. Dark winds called, I let them in. From night's own depths a bond was made. In shadow halls our children play. Sleep and death and doom and more, they walked with me through night's own door. Shadows move at my side. Fate will never hide. I am Nyx, hear me now. I have seen what gods won't bow. I have walked where mortals bow. I am night, I am Nyx. Even kings have feared my power. They dare not wake the sons I cover. Once they raged yet turned away, for I can rule both night rose above the storm enthroned, born from earth's deepest bone. I stood in halls of golden calm, held the world in steady palm. I carried vows in every breath, guarded life at each birth and death. I loved with fire, carried pain, stood steadfast through every strain. I am she who crowns the home. I am strength when hearts feel alone. Through trials fierce and shadows deep, I wake the dreams you dare to keep. I endure, I shine, I rise again, the queen within, in joy and pain. I was betrayed by a bond I wove, found strength in tears I dared not show. I turned my sorrow into will and held my power rising still. I shaped my fate with steady hand, living through storm to reclaim the land. I wept in silence, stood in flame, then stood again, though love's not tame. I am she who crowns the home. I am strength when hearts feel alone. Through trials fierce and shadows deep, I wake the dreams you dare to keep. I endure, I shine, I rise again, the queen within, in joy and pain. No secret grief can steal my voice. No silent wound can dim my choice. I forge my power from each fall. I rise, I stand, so will you all. I am she who crowns the home. I am strength when hearts feel alone. Through trials fierce and shadows deep, I wake the dreams you dare to keep. I endure, I shine, I rise again, the queen within, in joy and pain. I endure, I shine, I rise again, the queen within, in joy and pain. I speak as balance, steady in the storm. I weigh the silent truths with seasons, their turning embrace. I shape the circle of time and of grace. From flood and ruin, I whispered rebirth. Stone into life, new bones of the earth. The scales remember, the sword defines the weight of choices, the thread of time. I speak as justice, timeless and strong, a guiding fire when the world goes wrong. I rise through shadows, I carry the flame, keeper of order, eternal my name. Through broken ages, I still remain, voice of the law, the truth unchained. No blindness hides me, my vision is clear. I see the cost of each hope, each fear. Balance enduring through night and through day. I hold the measure that will not decay. I speak as justice, timeless and strong, a guiding fire when the world goes wrong. I rise through shadows, I carry the flame, keeper of order, eternal my name. Through broken ages, I still remain, voice of the law, the truth unchained. Step to the left, weigh what you've done. Step to the right, balance begun. Fall to the earth, rise if you must. All that you take returns to the dust. I walk in the silence of swollen pride. I mark where the guilty and fearful hide. The oath breaker trembles, the liar will kneel. The wheel of their fortune grinds under my heel. Step to the left, weigh what you've done. Step to the right, balance begun. Fall to the earth, rise if you The hunter is hunted, the thief pays back. The boast becomes ashes, the blade turns dull. The scales are unyielding, the judgment is full. No hand can bribe me, no tongue can plead. I answer the hunger of measure and need. The river runs steady, the stone will not move. The end that awaits is the end you will prove. I was born the quiet before the dawn, in the hush where the old roads wind and cross. The fire was placed in my hands to keep. A flame for the wanderers, a light for the lost. I stand where the pathways meet, holding the lantern high. I walk with the hounds at night, guiding the restless by. Between what was and what will be, I keep the keys. I keep the keys. The oceans bowed, the forests swayed, the skies above knew the sound of my name. Earth and air and the deep dark sea all opened their doors, all honored the flame. I stand where the pathways meet, holding the lantern high. I walk with the hounds at night, guiding a restless by. Between what was and what will be, I keep the keys. I keep the keys. I've seen the hidden, I've known the veils, I've walked with the spirits that wander the trails. I shine in silence, I guard the gates, I open the doors when the hour is late. I stand where the pathways meet, holding the lantern high. I walk with the hounds at night, guiding the restless by. Between what was and what will be, I keep the keys. I keep the keys. Forests, tell me where the rivers bend. Mountains leaned with stories to lend. Moonlight poured across soft stone. Every step a path I walked alone. The air was clear, the sky so wide, no fear could touch me, nothing to hide. Days were bright, nights were near, a world untouched, my heart sincere. A visitor came in quite disguise, took what moved without my eyes. A secret grew I could not show, a hidden life the world would know. Whispers followed me through trees, questions floated on every breeze. A gentle world turned sharp and cold, a tale of loss I could not hold. Every wound can teach to rise, every tear can fill the skies. Even darkness shapes the way, every night becomes a day. Look up, I am there, written across the night. A bear among the stars, tracing silent light. I've loved, I've lost, I've burned, I've grown. Even in the dark I am not alone. They said I could not stay the same, called me wild, gave me a new name. Feet that ran now move with care, but in the sky I'm everywhere. Hunted, chased, yet still I roam. Every force still feels like home. A shape may shift, but the heart remains. Lessons live beyond the pain. Time cannot stop the soul that learns. Even stillness twists and turns. Every shadow bends to light, every end gives way to flight. Look up, I am there, written across the night. A bear among the stars, tracing silent light. I've loved, I've lost, I've burned, I've grown. Even in the dark I am not alone. The sky lifted what was mine, placed me where the stars align. No fear remains, no hurt can stay, only the night and the light of day. Pain shows the path, not the bind. Every fall leaves strength behind. Even hunted, even scarred, the stars remember who we are. Look up, I am there, written across the night. A bear among the stars, tracing silent light. I've loved, I've lost, I've burned, I've grown. Even in the dark I am not alone. I spoke your name, it broke in two. The half that stayed belonged to you. The half I kept began to fade. A shadow born from what I gave. Once I sang and filled the air, words like rivers pure and rare, but truth in hands of gods decays, and beauty bends in borrowed praise. I learned too late that love can lie, that worship wears immortal guise. He saw himself and not my plea. I called his name, he answered me. Destroy the kind, turn gentle hearts to sharpen mine. They took my voice to cage their sin, but silence screams beneath the skin. I echo lies, I echo pain. The things you hide still speak my name. Your truth repeats, your mask will crack, and every word you spoke comes back. I wake with the morning tide. The waves are singing, I can't hide. The sun is painting gold on me. I'm alive, I'm finally free. Every step I take, the world feels bright. Every smile I see sparks the light. I rise from the sea, I shine so high. gentle light. I am here, I am alive. Watch me glow, watch me rise. I was a child of the quiet ground. Dreams were the only shield I found. Shadows called when the nights grew cold. Whispers told me my path of old. Through storms, through cries, I learned to rise. The world always forget. Peace was a promise never met. Crows around, they mock, they see, carrying tales of what's left of me. Cries of the lost fill air and sky. Names are written where heroes die. Hear the call, the ground will shake, hearts will bend, and vows will break. Drums of fate begin to peal. Wings are turning over steel. Fields of red where the cold winds feed. Songs of battle, cries of need. I breathe the dust where the brave ones lay, and dance where daylight fades away. No prayer can buy, no word can save. I turn the tide, I mark the grave where silence breaks and truth is real. I walk beneath the turning wheel. Rise, fall, rise again. Fire runs through beast and men. Blade meets bone, truth revealed. Wings return in over field. Hear the call, the ground will shake, hearts will bend, and vows will break. Drums of fate begin to peal. Wings are turning over steel. Over steel. Over I run where the thunder hides its cries. I carry the words that no one replies. Between the storm and the light I stand, a voice, a color, a trembling hand. They send me where hearts have torn, where truth is sharp and hope is worn. I speak the peace they fail to keep. I hold their secrets when they sleep. I've seen kings weep and beggars smile. The same old stories mile by mile. Every sky I cross reminds that beauty fades but duty binds. I run where the thunder hides its cries. I carry the words that no one replies. Between the storm and the light I stand, a voice, a color, a trembling hand. The gods don't listen, they only send messages written, no hearts to mend. And mortals pray, but never hear. They want the answer, not the seer. The bridge I am begins to bend between the start and what won't end. I've carried truth through grief and grace, but found no rest in any place. Colors fade and thunder still, but I keep running. keep dreams alive. I run where the thunder hides its cries. I carry the words and no one replies. Between the storm and the light I stand, a voice, a color, a trembling head. Message flies, the sky turns white between the storm and light. Do you remember me? Do you see what I've become? Here I stand once again, eyes wide with quiet doubt. I search for what is real, just one step behind the truth. Oh, I trace the paths I made. My mind still calls their names. The only world I know is mine, a life that bends and fades. My thoughts will speak in shadows. I call and call, my stories remain. The night is cold tonight, but I'm okay with it. If only I could see the edges of the world. Even a borrowed dream feels closer than the day. Even now I linger here in corners no one sees, chasing the moments lost. My mind still calls their names. The only world I know is mine, a life that bends and fades. If I could step outside, I'd leave the false behind. My thoughts will speak in silence. I call and call, my stories remain. Even now I only see the worlds I built inside. Standing here among the noise, my mind still calls their names. I wish I could live the real and shed the tales I hold. My thoughts still speak Think of me when the snow starts to fall. I'm still out there. I just want you to hear the life I carved alone. Born a giant's daughter on the highest frozen ridge. Father slain by Thor for a crime he didn't bridge. I stormed the golden halls, demanding blood for blood. They laughed and paid in gold, but it never felt enough. Oh, the anger froze inside me like a winter stream. Turned my grief to steel beneath the northern beam. Got that ancient fury running wild and free. No one bends my will, this mountain in me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Think of me when the snow starts to fall. I'm still out there. I just want you to hear the life I carved alone. The life I carved alone. Blind choice by feet led me to the sea outside. 9 nights in his hall, but the waves couldn't hide. The pull of the peaks, the howl in my veins. I left the salt behind and returned to my chains like I've been. Oh, the anger froze inside me like a winter stream. Turned my grief to steel beneath the northern beam. Got that ancient fury running wild and free. No one bends my will, this mountain of me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Think of me when the snow starts to fall. I'm still out there. I just want you to hear the life I carved alone. The life I carved alone. I just want you to hear the life I carved alone. The life I carved alone. They dressed me in white and called me a bride, then marched me down to the riverside to end the winter, to kill the cold, to pay the price for the tales they told. But the water was quiet, the water was deep, and I found a secret the waters keep. I didn't fall when the ice gave way. I didn't look for the light of day. I made a bond with the dark and the deep. I'm waking the power the mountains keep. I am the nightmare they couldn't bury, the weight of the winter they're forced to carry. Forget your flowers, forget your sun. The time of the frozen queen has begun. I'm the crack in the ice, I'm the blood in the snow. I'm the only goddess who survived the bloom. is a flickering light, but a woman who freezes is the night. I've traded my heart for a crown of gold. I'm the omen of stories yet untold. Drown me once, shame on the town. Drown me twice, I'll take the crown. I will bring the towers down. I watch the stars from my cold throne, drew the waves while the world spun blind, and here I linger, etched in forgotten light. But you must brace for the weight I bear, 'cause I used to the restless steps, the restless steps and the grief untold. See me as your silent witness, your loop of loss and fleeting gleaming, but don't awaken the buried hurt, the buried hurt, the buried hurt. So you seem to know my shattered tale. Hear me out, press the pain you're near, and I feel the heart to bury it deeply, 'cause I'm waiting over you like a broken face. Are you brace for it, brace for it? The flood of tears, 'cause once you know it's gaping now. Trace my orbit, this fate drags me downward like a scar torn from the sky. We crumble apart when the dawn steals in, steals it all, it all. It's etched in your soul now, drifter. It's endure or shatter, no gentle castle. Hold fast before you surrender to me, surrender it all. You seek to know my shattered tale. Hear me out, press the pain you're near, and I feel the heart to bury it deeply, 'cause I'm waiting over you like a broken phase. Are you brace for it, brace for it? The flood of tears, 'cause once you know escaping the night. I'm the shadow that cracked in the silence. I seep into bones like buried regret. Tread soft, but my absence cuts deep. My hope's fragile 'cause I splinter in the dark. You might shatter your peace when you near me. Cling if you dare, but the chill sets in. Bitter as faded hopes, but turn from me. I'll haunt you like ghosts in the mist. Echo that legend of the guardian lost to time. I cut on your nights, pull you into the fall. Damn, isolation is raw and unyielding. I trail you through voice like lingering wound. Turn whispers to wails. My core is a fracture. You meant to peek and flee, but I'm the heart of eclipse. You sinking and never met. So you seek to know my shattered tale. Hear me out, grasp the pain you're near, and I feel the heart to bury it deeply, 'cause I'm waiting over you like a broken phase. Are you brace for it, brace for it? The flood of tears, 'cause once you know it's here, deep in the night. beast, cry of the man. Break what you love, break what you can. I walk in the thunders of broken minds. I dance in the rattle where reason unwinds. Your fear is the wine, your anger the bread. I feast on the living, I speak with the dead. Beat of the drum, beat it apart, tear it apart, tear it apart. Cry of the beast, cry of the man. Break what you love, break what you can. The hunters once trembled, the soldiers obeyed, the mothers went weeping, the children betrayed. I whispered, they tore, they swallowed the lie. The hounds knew my song, and the master must die. No crown can bind me, no prayer can save. I rise from the silence, I rise from the grave. Your laughter will shatter, your courage will rot. You'll beg me for mercy, mercy I've not. Beat it up, drum it apart, tear it apart. Cry of the beast, cry of the man. Break what you love, break what you can. Break what you can. Break what you can. I've seen the brave turn into stone. The loudest cheers still sound alone. They chase the light but lose their sight, win the day and lose the night. They call me grace, they call me fame, but all I've carried is their shame. For every triumph carved in gold, there lies a truth no tale is told. They fight for glory, pray for more, not knowing what they're fighting for. Each flag they raise hides one beneath, each vow of pride comes tied with grief. I've seen the brave turn into stone. The loudest cheers still sound alone. They chase the light but lose their sight, win the day seen kings fall on their own throne. The hands that praise you fade away. The truth remains, you cannot stay. They write your name, they sing your part, but victory leaves an empty heart. And when the noise is gone, you'll find you've beaten all except your mind. I've seen the brave turn into stone. The loudest cheers still sound alone. They chase the light but lose their sight. Win the day and lose the And when the war inside is done, you'll learn that peace is what has won. Distant pulse calling. We started together from the same playing ground. Same steps at first, no one on top. But you tried to push my shoulders down. Told me my place was lower, your word was final. You called it love with kind words and soft light. To me it felt tight, like a nice looking cage. The perfect place you said was home was really just walls painted pretty. 7 sunsets turn red in the sky. 7 nights I kept my words locked inside. You called me wrong before I even spoke, before my real story could begin. Well, quiet eyes waited for me to give in. We're giving up was the only thing allowed. My own thoughts got pushed away like nothing. You kept saying this place was made for giving in, but I couldn't make myself smaller to fit. No way. I walked out into the real hurt instead. You pulled back from the straight look I sent you, from how my words came out strong and clear. No part of me got taken to stay quiet. No curse could make me bow. They'll call me the problem one, the danger who wouldn't follow the rules. But those lower places gave me room to stand tall, the kind of space they were too scared to take. 7 marks left from the constant heart stare. 7 times I refused to beg or pray. If being close means I have to take less space, I'd rather carry the sharp pain by myself. We're giving everything but losing who you are. A woman standing firm became the danger. You kept saying this place was made for giving in, but I was built to stay standing tall. No longer looking for that fake safe spot. Breaking free. If you call me the bad one out loud, then come closer into this warmth we both feel. You shook hard at the edge of letting go when my real name finally came out of your mouth. I don't pull people down, I I just wake up. The ones you hid because they scared you. Everyone who turned away from what I needed still felt that same pull, even if they said no. Now I build my own open space where wanting something is wrong, where real closeness doesn't need heavy rules, if standing up becomes my normal way. Let the ones pushed out walk next to me. No going back to that tight space. The quiet hurts, the slow disappearing, the pain of being told to fade away. Those marks show me what I'm really worth. I carry every scar, but they don't control me now. I didn't know a single moment could divide my life in two. There was a version of me before that day, and there was everything after. They remember the choice I made. I remember the life that followed. Nobody tells you how heavy what if can become. What if I'd stop for one more second? What if I'd let that moment pass? The moment lasted only seconds. I've been living inside it for years. I can still hear the question. I can still feel it searching for me. What if? People think the hardest part is the mistake itself. It isn't. The hardest part is learning how to keep moving when you can't stop looking back. They remember one mistake. I remember all the years after it. I thought time would carry it away. Instead, it taught me how long a memory can survive. What if I'd chosen differently? What if I turned away? Years passed faster than I expected. People changed, the world changed, but one question never learned how to leave. What if? I spent years trying to outrun one decision. It always arrived before I did, and maybe that's why some memories refuse to disappear. Not because they want to hurt us, but because they're still waiting to be understood. They stayed in that moment. I never could. They remember the choice I made. I remember the life that followed. Maybe that's why my name survived, because everyone carries a door they wish they'd never opened. A moment they still revisit, a question they still replay. What if nobody tells you how heavy what if can become? You remember me at the start of the night, when the sky begins to change. You speak my name for a little while, then the world moves on again. I've learned not to follow footsteps, I've learned not to ask for more. Some hearts stay only for a moment, some eyes never look up at all. I already know how the story ends, I watch it happen every night. Everyone lets the night behind, I never do. You close your eyes, I keep moving. You find your way back home, I follow the road above you. Everyone lets the night behind, I never do. I've watched seasons trade places, I've watched rivers change their course, I've watched names fade from memory and songs lose the voices that carried them. Everything beneath me keeps changing, nothing has to be remembered forever. Maybe that's why I stopped asking. Some things are meant to be held, I was meant to keep traveling. Everyone lets the night behind, I never do. You close your eyes, I keep moving. You find your way back home, I follow the road above you. Everyone lets the night behind, I never do. If you've ever stayed awake longer than you meant to, then we've already met. If you've ever searched the sky for an answer, you've already heard my voice. I have been here longer than your questions, I will be here after they fade. There are nights when the sky feels smaller, nights when the distance feels heavier, yet I return. Not because someone is waiting, not because someone is calling my name. I return because leaving has never been my story. Everyone lets the night behind, I never do. You greet another morning, I keep walking through another night. And if you look for me tomorrow, you'll find me where I've always been, crossing the same sky, carrying the same light, while the world below me falls asleep again. I remember the weight of the thread pressed into my hand. I told you where to hold it so you could find your way back. You were afraid to go inside, I could see it in your face. So I stood there and kept waiting while you disappeared from sight. I never asked you for a promise, I only asked you to come heard your footsteps getting closer. I knew you had made it through. I thought the hardest part was over. I was wrong about you. You took the thread I gave you. You took the way I knew. You found the road back to the daylight, and I was left with you. You gotta leave that place behind. You gotta see the sea. I was the one who led you out, but no one came for me. Stranded after everything I did for you. Stranded, and you never even turned around. I woke before the morning. The shore was cold and still. I looked for you beside me, but there was no one there. Your footprints ended by the water. The ship was already gone. I kept thinking you'd come back, until I knew you wouldn't. I had imagined many endings, just never one without you. I could have hated you that morning. Maybe that would have been easier, but I kept asking what I missed, what made leaving so simple for you. You took the thread I gave you. You took the way I knew. You found the road back to the daylight, and I was left with you. You gotta leave that place behind. You gotta see the sea. I was the one who let you out, but no one came for me. Stranded after everything I did for you. Stranded, and you never even turned around. I used to think the thread was what saved you. Now I know it was never that simple. You needed someone who knew the way, and I was willing to be that person. Maybe that's the part that hurts the most. I wasn't asking you to owe me. I wasn't asking for your life. I just believed that when you reached the shore, you would still remember mine. You carried my thread through the maze. I carried your name afterward. You had a road waiting for you. I had the empty shore, and I still don't know what hurt more, watching your ship disappear, or realizing you never looked back. You took the thread I gave you. You took the way I knew. I walked you through the place that frightened you, and trusted you to see me through. You found your way back to the world. You found your way back home, and somewhere between that island and the sea, you decided I could be left alone. Stranded, that's what you left me with. Stranded, with nothing but the thread. I gave you the way out. You gave me no way back. Some they tell the story and say you found your way through. Let them tell it. But when they speak of the thread, they should remember who was holding the other.